New practices in rain-fed olive groves cover management. In Trás-os-Montes, olive cultivation dates back to the 16th century. This crop represents much more than a beautiful landscape. It is the identity of a people and the income of several families. Olive cultivation has stood the test of time, but now the olive grove is facing a new challenge: climate change. The agricultural practices carried out throughout the year end their cycle in autumn and winter, with the harvest. Traditionally, harvesting is done manually, using a lot of labor. Nowadays, mechanized harvesting is already a reality. One of the most common agricultural practices in olive groves is soil tillage. This practice is not compatible with the current climate pattern. Prolonged periods of drought, heat waves, floods, and heavy rainfall pose a threat to the survival of the olive grove, particularly in the Trás-os-Montes region, with its slopes and shallow soils. Bare soil, resulting from tilling several times throughout the year, becomes vulnerable to climate change, favoring nutrient leaching, erosion, water loss through evapotranspiration, and an increase in soil temperature. The Olivais de Siqueiro operational group explored some agricultural practices for adapting to climate change in rain-fed olive groves. One of these practices involves managing the olive grove's cover. How do we implement cover management? Let's hear from Lucia Gomes de Sá, a farmer who adopted this practice.
Actually, it wasn't difficult. We just had to stop tilling the soil and let the natural vegetation grow. In spring, we cut the grass mechanically, and on some plots, the weeds are controlled with grazing. We also experimented with cover cropping, with minimal tillage, and in all the plots, there was a huge improvement, an improvement in the health of the soil.
What is the cost of the investment?
Initially, the cost is the same as tillage. In wetter years, we have to use the mower more often, but in the long term, the maintenance costs tend to decrease. In the case of sowing, the additional investment is in the seeds, isn't it?
What benefits has this practice brought you?
Well, in addition to making mechanical harvesting easier, there's less risk of erosion. Water retention capacity is greater. The high summer temperatures have less of an effect, and therefore the plant gains resilience, obviously. I would also emphasize a relevant increase in biodiversity, which is an extremely important aspect.
Therefore, the change of attitude in cover management in olive groves doesn't require any additional financial effort. It boosts soil fertility and water retention capacity.